Welcome to Rolling to the Reels, a look into the film and video archive of the Baseball Hall of Fame Museum. We have thousands of hours of film, video, and audio recordings, and we want to share some of those highlights with you. You're going to see some vintage interviews and footage from Hall of Famers, some of your favorite players, fans, and anyone associated with the game. So sit back and take a look at baseball's history.
We're visiting with St. Louis Cardinals manager Tony Larussa. Tony, a lot of people forget that you played Major League Baseball and also were a standout minor league player for a number of years, and you had a chance to play with some great players in Atlanta and Oakland. Talk a little bit about that experience. Even though it was brief, you had a chance to meet guys like Aaron and Reggie Jackson.
Well, I remember just with the Braves at the big league level for a couple of months, and they used to make bets in the dugout once they could see that Hank was getting hot, how many times in a row he would hit the ball hard. And they would, the bets would be anywhere like 12, 13, 15, 17, 18. I think, oh, that's not possible. And he cranked out about 15 or 16 line drives in a row. So he's just amazing. And I can imagine him when he was younger. And then in Oakland, I had a chance to watch Reggie from the beginning because he signed at about, 65, 66, something like that, and watch him develop. And just a very competitive player with great talent and really knew the value of winning and was a really good teammate. So, yeah, it was a thrill just to say that you were in the same locker room with people like that.
Who were the minor league and major league managers that influenced you in particular and maybe helped shape the style that you have forged as a major league skipper?
Well, I played for John McNamara, and he was really good, very, very good. He was great with young players. He did a good job in the major leagues as well, but he was really a good manager for a young player, gave you a lot of really good values. Later on, started managing with Paul Richards and Lauren Babe, other guys who, just a wealth of information, and they shared it with you, so it was very lucky.
I've read some material about you and Lauren Babe that he was in particular a strong influence during your years in Chicago, and that of course was your first major league managing job. Talk a little bit more about the relationship you had with him.
Well, I had, I was just wrapping up that pretty mediocre career and stayed around as a player coach, and I did it for 2 years with Lauren. And he gave me the opportunity every night to talk baseball with him, and he's really the person that unlocked that door, that showed me how much more there was to managing than what most players think. There's a lot more to the job, and I can't give Lauren enough credit for it. And then once I started in the minor league system, Paul Richards was there, and I remember going to spring training my first couple, and Chuck Tanner was with the Pittsburgh Pirates right next door in Bradenton, and be able to pick his brain. He was just awesome to share stuff with, and yeah, I think it's really a nice point to pass along, because every once in a while somebody just started managing will ask me a question. I said, just make sure you don't ever believe that you know it all, and there are a lot of really good baseball men out there that'll share it with you. Just ask the questions.
When I say the words Cooperstown and Hall of Fame, what comes immediately to mind?
The best of baseball, because it not only enshrines the best, but it's our finest tradition. It's the place where you make a pilgrimage to honor the game and the greats. I know that for two years and about 3, the White Sox went to play the Hall of Fame game, and we were, some guys evidently begrudge that. It takes a day off from their schedule, but our group really liked to go there and had a wonderful experience. The only 2 times I've ever visited the hall, and thoroughly enjoyed it. And I could see where if I had a summer off sometime, that's where I'd take my family.
When you look back at those trips to Cooperstown, tell us a little bit about your experience at Doubleday Field and what struck you in particular about the museum and the exhibits there.
Well, I just, this is more or less true depending on the person, but I was raised as a baseball fan, and for now a lot of years, so going into the hall and seeing the way the exhibits were presented, the information that was there that you could really relive some of the highlights from these great Hall of Famers, that was very, very special. And the next day playing at the field, it's a unique old ballpark. It's like the old ballparks used to be, where it's not perfectly symmetrical, so you had this obstacle out there and you had this dimension over here, and we had two nice games that were thrilling. Fans were right close to you, and just a very positive experience.
In the gallery where all the Hall of Famers plaques are displayed, did you find yourself stopping and maybe looking at some of the Hall of Fame managers?
No. No, I mean, not anymore in the players. I mean, it's just, there's only a few of them in there, compared to players. I mean, the game is built around the players, not the managers. But no, I was more intrigued with the players.
Final question for Tony Larussa. Your career as a major league player was obviously not Hall of Fame caliber, but a much different story when you talk about your managerial career in the major leagues. You're so busy during the course of a long season and then playoffs and a World Series. Do you have a chance to think at all about your own immortality as a Hall of Famer? Does that cross your mind?
Yeah, it crosses, and I think no chance. You look at the few that have gotten in, just their achievements, they're going for pages. I've been fortunate, whether it was Chicago, Oakland, and now St. Louis. You get around really good players and you can qualify for the postseason. But I think longevity, like somebody like Sparky, I'd love to be there the day he gets inducted, because he's 2,000 wins and has got the world championship in each league. But there are very few guys that have done enough as managers to qualify. I was really, really happy to see Earl Weaver, because when I first started managing in '79, Earl and the Orioles, they were the standard in the league. So, but no, I think no chance, so I don't worry about it.
Even if you win 2 or 3 World Series crowns down the line?
Well, if I win 2 or 3, now I may get an honorable mention.
Tony, thanks for your time.
Okay.
Appreciate it very much.
All right, thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Come celebrate the Cardinals all summer long in Cooperstown and mark your calendar for July 21st for a special recognition of the Cardinals' success through the generations. For more information, visit baseballhall.org.
Relive baseball's greatest thrills, only in Cooperstown at the Baseball Hall of Fame.